A10 bump, gonna give you the jump. Got the views you can use. A10 gonna give you the jump. A10 News got the views you can use. A10 gonna do it again. Gonna give you the jump. A10 News got the views you can use. A10 News got the views you can use. A10 gonna give you the jump.
I ain't studying you in the regular language means. I really don't care what his position is based upon his political motive.
Tell everybody how much you love A10 News Media Group.
A10 News Media Group. I love them because they got the message to sports Negro up in California for burning them jockeys from under the bridge and sending them to Flint because nobody recognizes the dark man no more. They rather to burn them out and talk about NRA, Negro racket ass, and you ain't getting no.
Yes, I had a cocktail.
Well, we gonna tell all the people because we up there right now. We got 67 people. And
Ooh, I look too white.
Damn. That's the way to start off a show. She looked too white.
Look at me. I look like a ghost.
Look at me. I'm black. Well,
But see, you look lighter too. That screen there is like,
Mickey got to adjust the camera. Maybe he got us up too far. He got us, he don't have the right lighting on us. We need some better lighting.
got me rolling I just look so white right here. I'm like, okay.
We got to get some.
I should have put on some blush.
We're gonna have makeup artists when we get some money.
You should have told me I could have put on a little blush and a little bit of color on my lips, I just could have. Now I should have.
He gonna hook us up.
Yeah. I'll cut you a little check.
I am trying to
beginning of the month.
Thank you.
And I'm going to try and put you in my budget.
Well, thank you. A10 need to be in everybody's budget around here.
And I'm like, I don't watch that stupid news.
No, you can't. This is where you get the real news at.
If you want to know Flint.
Right. If you want to know Flint, if you really want to know what's going on, then this is where you get the real news. Okay, let him say his good mornings to everybody.
I'm gonna get it out the way in 1 second.
Yes, say hello.
I'm sharing too. I kept sharing the wrong thing.
Wanda Smith, meat freak from Palaca, Florida. Good morning, Nancy Adams, love mama. Kobe Fatty, aka Elizabeth P. Finney, R. Murphy.
Cause see, this coat
704
looks
Charlotte Bound.
This coat looks red.
Good morning.
No, but it's brown.
So don't tell me that I'm just imagining that.
This is what we get at council, yo.
This is what we doing.
Too white.
The monster in the building, what it do?
Stop.
Who's my sweet girl that said Gladys ain't white, she's beige? I was laughing.
Cattle, my good brother, what it do, good brother? Cattle Cartel 205, brother Patrick's in the building. Good morning, Michael B, Jazzy Melanie, Teresa, Dollar Bill, Georgia Boy, super producer, the greatest in the
Super
building.
producer.
Sherry Allen, No Name, my good brother.
Ain't no name.
Cameron Hardy, I Ain't Going, We There. Salty Chef, good morning. Tasha Lynn, Jared D. Brickage, if I said it right.
Ooh.
Marcia A. Talbot, good morning. That's the family from the west side of the United States coming in from Cali. Oh, good morning. That's the family from the west side.
You gotta- you gotta cut that down.
You gotta keep that together.
Got it.
It's gonna be-
Oh, that's better.
I got you together. Now the jacket is brown, as you said. Unapologetic.
Well, just don't make me too white.
For sure.
We got you, Ms.
I can laugh at
Unapologetic.
me,
The bad
you know.
girl of 810. Tia Harris, Tony Terry, Cheryl Hart. Tony Terry coming from Miami-Dade, the 305 in the building. Kendrick Jones. Now, you know my family in the building right now. You know T from the D.
Hey, T.
What up, though, T? You should have been right here.
Carolyn
And
Hendricks.
she know what I'm talking about.
Sydney Green. Lil Mama in the building. Good morning. And my brother Be Loud and Tapped In. Kathy George, good morning to you. Merck 76.
Assalamu alaikum.
Michael Cooley. Marcus Fielder, my good brother from Fairfield,
Morning, Miss
California.
Sherry.
Then we got Otis Johnson from Alabama's in the building. Then we got Jonelle McFadden coming in from Sherman Oaks, California. I got to give nothing but shout outs, especially everybody to wake up, especially the people on the west side. You know, the United States coming from Cali, 3-hour difference, and they tuning in to us.
Man, we love y'all.
Hey, nothing but love. Even the ones from down south.
Absolutely.
Good brother James Cochran and Tapped In. Jasper Burke, good morning to you. Miss D, my sister in the building, Sister
Morning, Miss
Taliba.
Teresa.
Good morning to you. Carl Unc in the building. Carl, what it
Oh, Lord, Uncle Carl.
do? Donnell Meredith in the building. Anthony P in the building. RJ Cat, the good brother, what it do? Tasha Bella in the building. That's the good
Our
brother.
family.
That's the good brother Jeff Johnson from the ATL. Good morning to you. And we got the little bro in the building, Michael Clack.
Oh, what's up,
The state
Clack?
representative. Has a write-in.
Morning, Mr.
Fight the
Clack.
system. Lenore Seal, good morning to you. Queen Anifa, Grand Rising to you. Elijah Green. Miss Beverly Biggs Levy in the building. And we got, then we got, you know, the petty, what is it, Petty Fish? But that's, you know who that is. That's from Pole Talk to Family.
Is that Free who? Free Daddy?
Put free out there like that. That's the sister Free Daddy. If y'all don't know who that is, that's Free Daddy in the
Who
building.
Daddy? Free Daddy.
Free Daddy, Abundant Fake, Joyce Tubbs, Andre Holland, Christopher Sims, good morning. Tracy Glenn, if I gotta say it twice, I'm gonna say it twice. I see Mr. Jacob Fella then popped in.
My dog.
Donnell Meredith in the building. We got Michelle Pfeiffer in the building.
Hey, Miss
First
Michelle.
Lady.
Primo El Mundo in the building.
Primo El Mundo.
Then we got Donnell Dumas, the only Dumas that Winter's okay, all right with.
That's the only one.
Then we got Barb Harrington in the building.
Oh, look,
Good.
Jacob fella got some fans up in here. You see them lovely eyes? Look at them two hard eyes.
Super
Say, hey,
producer.
Jacob fella.
I just need my 35%. That's all I'm saying, super producer.
You leave Jake alone. He
Everybody
belongs
gotta
to
pay.
us.
Everybody gotta pay. I ain't tripping, but everybody gotta pay. That's how we do. 18, you got to pay. Okay, let's get this. Luana Terry, good morning to you. And Marcia A. Tarbert, good morning to you. Okay, like the stage is set. But I'm seeing something in the chat. They saying they coming at the dentist.
Yeah, dog. They coming after Dennis. And I don't know if Ms Gladyes even knew about that. Did you know they coming after Dennis?
Who is?
The city administration. I thought that this was very weird.
The mayor?
The mayor's administration. See, you know, Sheldon tried to keep his hands clean. So he have other people do his dirty work.
Exactly.
Like Emily Dorr.
Like Emily Dorr.
Emily wrote a
She's doing
post.
his dirty work right now.
She carries his water.
Yeah.
She do. Listen, Emily wrote a post, and I don't know why they just dead set on getting rid of Oak Park. Is that like the only black park that's over there on the north side that's
It
left?
is.
The oldest historical black park?
It is.
The park that people keep coming down
That's
there to
right.
talk about. This is the same park that Quincy was working on wanting to save.
It is.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure this was the same park. Okay. So Emily Doer said, that's the one who was with the red hair who talks with her arms and stuff when she get up there.
Yes.
And so she wrote this post yesterday, and she said, because of my day job, I don't post about Flint politics, but as a resident of Flint's 8th Ward, this is too important to stay quiet about. I know almost all, if not 100%, 100% of the 8th Ward residents are in support of Ashley Capital redeveloping Buick City, and Dennis Pfeiffer is not representing our ward's interests by voting against the sale of decommissioned in 1984 and only used 1 day per year Oak Park, which is part of the construction of Building 2 for Nanograph. That's the electric things or whatever, to expand their business and create 150 jobs, which they really didn't tell us it's not going to be for us because it's not a lot of black engineers around here, but see, people don't know that.
That's right.
So please, to all the 8th Ward residents, I'm begging you to email Dennis or call his city number and leave a voicemail telling him to support the sale of Oak Park to Ashley Capital. He will be representing his ward. So then she put
That's an 8th Ward right there.
Oh, that's the way 8th Ward would take Tay. She said she's speaking for you too. She said if not 100% of the 8th Ward residents. Then she listed
She said if not 100%.
Yeah, she
so
said.
would this make this that 100% of lie? Because that's Tay right there.
Yes,
from the 8th
yes.
Ward.
Yeah, now she's down to 99.
Yep, well, you off a percent, Emily.
And so she said she listed Dennis's city email, his phone number. But this right here is what bothers me. She tagged some 8th Ward residents that are very well known in the community. And it hurts me that they want to get rid of this park too.
See,
Matt Telliger.
Oh wow.
I don't know who these other people are. Ashley Harris, Elizabeth Jordan. I do know Casey Lester. They used to be on the school board. Dave Wilbert, don't know who that is. Walter McAdow.
I don't know him.
Towns, Osborne Miller.
Wow.
But the last one is Bobby McCumler.
Really?
Dr. Bobby McCumler. I can't
So that's,
see
I
him
guess that's the
supporting
100% of the 8th Ward.
There's Dr. Bobby
100%.
McCumler. I can't see him getting rid of that.
I guess when they do like
But I
What
guess
does
he
the
do.
simple homeowner feel?
Right, the ones that don't have a garage to store their cars in.
That's right.
Oh, okay, hold
We-
up.
see, we- we
I'm
have to
I'm
speak
here.
for them.
I'm here with Mark Hutchinson. Now he said y'all missing a real Oak Park story. We're in the Oak Park Association saying they don't want to sell. Did Ashley give them a lawnmower and candy too? I didn't read that right.
Oak Park people, all I know, I don't know the back room deals that's going on with Oak Park. I can just tell you what I see in the public. And I know Mr. John McFadden, who lost his son some years ago. And there was a lot of other people that were coming down there and they were saying, don't sell Oak Park. So
They've
did that
got
just
some
go away too?
Old trees. Beautiful trees.
In Oak Park?
Yes. I can't even imagine them selling that park and cutting them trees down.
I can't imagine. I don't care about the other people on there, all them names.
What are we leaving our kids?
It hurts me. And I know he gonna see this. And I know you know me, Dr. Bobby McCumber. It hurts me to see your name on this post. Advocating for the sale of a park in the middle of Flint, where a lot of people have been coming down there, a lot of black people have been coming down there and asking to not sell this park. But this is for that nanograph electric motors, something,
And
something.
you got to stop and think about the coolants they're using on these machines. And where is those coolants going?
Oh, probably to what? Oh, they're going to put them in waste bins and take them to the waste site.
Listen, they got to go somewhere in the ground.
You think? Like, you think it's going to be like Buick City again?
That's right. And you know, and if they're going to build that battery plant at Buick City, all they're going to do is they're going to poison the Flint River again. DuPont, when DuPont there at Final Assembly Buick was making them paints for Final Assembly for them cars, listen, they dumped waste into the Flint River and completely poisoned it. Fish were going belly up.
Well, somebody had posted
DuPont
yesterday
left.
some green, a lime green slime going into the river. And I'm like, well, that's how they come out. And they were like, oh, what are you talking about? My mom used to work in the morgue.
Okay.
We used to have to go and x-rays bodies that they would pull out the river. And she said one was glowing green.
That's right.
It's a lot of shit in that river.
That's
I wouldn't eat
exactly
a
it.
fish. I wouldn't eat nothing out that river.
My friend Rudy Cardwell I was telling you about that I worked with, his dad was chairman of the shop committee at the Buick. Listen, he was fishing up there in Holloway, and the fish they're pulling out of Holloway have ulcers on them. And they're catching them, but they're throwing them back because they won't eat them.
Hell no, a fish with an ulcer on
Now
it?
this was when they were drilling for that laying pipe and stuff for that water.
The KWA.
Jeff Wright was in on that. You know, Jeff Wright is the sleaziest sneak you will ever come across. He's became a millionaire on the back of that KWA.
Nobody runs against Jeff Wright for drain
You
commissioner.
want to know why? Flint people don't vote for him, but these people in these small cities in Genesee County, they vote for him.
The counties are the counties are the ones that carry the election.
That's right.
If Flint people would vote, we would carry the
That's
election.
exactly right. But see, they take your vote for granted. They
Yep.
take our vote for granted because, oh, we've got Flint. We don't have to service Flint because we own Flint.
What you say, every 4 years? Here they
Every
come.
4 years, here they come, pandering. They say, oh, we're going to do this for Flint. And we're going to do that for Flint. And then you don't see them for another 4 years. That's the truth. They get right on my nerves. Now, you know, I'll call them out.
We know.
Yeah, 'cause I'm seeing what Sister Celie was here. Please tell the truth about Genesee County Drain Commissioner Jeff Wright. He promised Flint residents in 2016 that their water bills would go down.
We gotta reach out to him.
Well, we fought them. We fought him, and he come before the Flint City Council and talk about that KWA coming. But they had Flint paying for that, the biggest part of that water pipe, and it was raw water. And the reason it was raw water is because they use raw water for these cooling for these machines that they're bringing in. And through Jeff Wright, they get their zoning permits. They change the zoning for in cities. And then Michael, a delegate that I am close with, him and his wife, they were carrying signs and protesting that battery plant coming over there.
Monday Township.
Yes. And he approached Jeff Wright, and Jeff Wright said, oh, I can't tell you that. That's private. It is not private. We have the right to know the permits and the zoning permits that he's pulling, because he's the one that's pulling these permits. Yeah, Jeff Wright is a sneak. But see, Flint said, no, we went back on the Detroit water.
Yeah,
Flint did.
Are you drinking out the tap?
No.
What's this right here?
This is bottled water. I have 7 cases of bottled water in my kitchen at any given time.
And being a senior, Ms Gladyes, how hard is it for you? Before we get to the trash cans, how hard is it for you getting that water in your house?
I have to call my neighbor, Michael, and Michael comes over and helps me get that water in. When I buy it at Sam's, I get them to load it in my car. Then I come to my house, I carry as much as I can up into the side door and up 2 steps right there. And yeah, it's bad. It's hard.
It is hard. I seen my dad yesterday say my side is hurting. He had 2 cases of water. He's 83.
Oh, see, that's just wrong.
It is wrong. It
And
is
when
wrong.
the last time I went and get, and and I use one of those filters on my sink faucet, on the faucet in the kitchen sink, but I don't give that water to my dog. I do not give that water. I do not cook my food with that water.
Mhm.
I don't wash my vegetables with that water. I just and this money that they don't let go of.
Mhm.
Just tell us how much interest you've drawn in the years since we went to Washington and the money was sent to Lansing, and it was, and then Lansing had to pay some money, Flint had to pay some money, and Washington paid a huge amount of money to make it right, try and make it right for the people of Flint. But, I watched that money go to Lansing, and then they tied it up in the courts as to what they were going to do with it and how they were going to divide it up. And once they got that settled, they were going to pay the ambulance chasers that came in out of state, the lawyers. They're going to pay them first. So
They did, didn't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I jumped out of the group lawsuit
Mhm.
because I breathed that water in through a humidifier for 2 winters.
Oh wow.
And I have environmental asthma, and I'm on a nebulizer,
Mhm.
and I have an emergency inhaler. And not only that, but I have precancerous nodules in my lungs. Yeah, so I got my own attorney from Lansing, Mr.
Don't say his name. Everybody
Okay,
be
I won't
running
say
to
his
him.
name. Yeah.
Don't
So,
say
but
his
anyway,
name.
I have my own attorney, and he when I call him, he tells me, Gladys, these are dirty bastards.
Mm.
And he just says, I can't say when they're going to let go of this money.
And
It was
that's what I
supposed to
want-
be the early part of 24.
Yeah, 'cause that's what I want to ask you. How do you feel about how this case, like how they even did it? Like you say, the ambulance chasers came from out of state.
Chasers.
How do you feel, even with and I don't like to throw people out here, but even with the concerned pastors, with the Melissa Mays, the deal they went.
Don't get me going on the concerned Listen, them concerned pastors, I told him, you need to get back behind your pulpit, because the only thing they were concerned about with Melissa Mays is the money that Snyder gave them and settled their lawsuit. Snyder settled their lawsuit, and listen, they just kind of faded off because
Wait a minute. So you mean Quincy was telling the truth when he got up there and said, tell him about that 95 million y'all got?
That's exactly right. And it was divided up, and they
God
got to where
damn.
they didn't go to Lansing with us anymore. No, Snyder paid them off to kind of fade away and not be up in the cameras. That's right. And they got theirs. And then they weren't there at our rallies. They weren't there speaking for us. They weren't at city council. No. And Melissa May, she just kind of faded off too.
Let's back up for just 5
She
seconds.
used us for minions.
Let's back up for five minutes.
Okay.
Shouts out to ATN News Media Group and the greatest producer in the world around here today. We call him Spacely Sprockets, but today his name is simply gonna be Fishy Mick.
What?
Well, Fishy Mick, because we're talking about the water.
Admiral Mick. We on the water. I'm driving.
All right, Admiral. All right, Captain Mick at your service.
Facts.
I also wanted to back up because a lot of you who just got captivated with everything that's going on in Flint, we've been fighting this for years in Flint. The
we've been fighting in Flint for years, okay, before y'all even heard of the little dot on the map. I don't want y'all to think that Ms Gladyes is just some lady that showed up down at city council with nothing else to do. Ms Gladyes has been fighting the water way before I even got involved with it. If you could just give us a little touch on how far back you go with this water crisis.
2014, I was in the Dome when we had our first get together in the Dome at City Hall.
Wow.
And I had my gallon of dirty, filthy water that come out of my faucet. And I had a bag of hair that I started collecting. My hair started falling out. My hair started falling out, you know, and I ended up, and I still got that hair. I should have brought it. I should have brought that gallon.
No, you're leaving it.
It was a gallon baggie of my hair as it fell out.
A lot of the beauticians around in Flint, they couldn't do hair because their customers' hair was coming out with the Flint water.
I had rash coming out on my face, and these doctors, you couldn't get them to say, oh yeah, it was the water. No, they didn't want nothing to do with saying it was the water. So, you know, you could go to your doctor with these things that were going on with you, but you couldn't get the doctors to step up. This head doctor at Hurley, had it not been for her, this would have been hidden, because the health department, where all these kids were coming with all the things that was going on with these kids.
You're talking about Dr. Mona, Hannah Atisha.
Yep, Dr. Mona. And if it hadn't been for her, this would have been swept up under the rug and kept there, because Snyder was hiding it. The Michigan Health Department was hiding it. I know people, I know a girl that lost her set of twins because of this water. She cried and she cried. It just broke my heart. I have another person that marched with us, and he breeded dogs. And he had a pit bull that he bred, and she lost her litter. And when it was born, the dogs didn't have no hair. The dogs some didn't have legs. Lansing Animal Hospital the Michigan State Animal Hospital.
The big one.
They came and got that litter of pups
and swept them up out of here.
That's right. And we to this day don't know. And I would see him like in Sam's, or I'd see him, at Meyer, and I'd ask him, so what they say about your litter of pups. I have not heard from him, Gladys.
Before we get back onto that, I do have a reply from Dennis Pfeiffer back to the administration. Would you like to hear it? Okay, well, let's hear what Councilman Dennis Pfeiffer out of the 8th Ward has to say. And this is a response to the Emily Doerr's post. If you guys weren't on here earlier, you need to go back and read it. Emily Doerr, along with the 100% of the 8th Ward, as she pushed it and named a few of the 8th Ward residents, said that they all want the sale of the Oak Park over in the 8th Ward off of Miller Road, but Oak Park is where? Over on the north side.
Yes.
Okay. And let's see what Adele has to say about that, because, she wanted Dennis to be for Black. So I'm sure she's on Dennis' side with this one. So Dennis came back and said, it's laughable that you're posting this. Why is it that you need a white council person to sell out this historic park in a minority neighborhood? Because we know they need 5 votes, right? If it's such a good deal, why aren't all Black council members supporting this and trying to put fake pressure on me? The disenfranchisement of everyone in this area with 475, remember that? With Buick City closing, and you want a white council person to sell their park to outside company to turn into a parking lot. Gotcha. Nah, he ain't stupid. They want him to cast that vote to sell that, like he said, historic Black park.
That's right.
Why y'all didn't reach out to Jerry, Tanya, or Jonathan Jarrett? They applying pressure to Dennis Pfeiffer.
The way that Liddell Lewis plays that race card on him. It just, I told him when she don't have nothing else to put out there that's right, she's gonna throw out that race card. That's who she is.
And she does.
That's who she is.
Yeah. And I was in the back. We have our little special corner now.
Yeah.
And Monday I seen you gather your stuff up and you moved to the other side of Arthur Woodson.
Listen, that woman, she not only came from that group back there, because at first her other cousin was there with the long braids.
Okay.
The dreadlocks. Okay, she was there when I got up and spoke my 3 minutes, and I dogged on Liddell. Well, I dog on all of them because if the shoe fits, wear it.
You have went up and down the line,
and I will. And if Jonathan was giving his vote to something that was totally wrong,
you have gotten on him before. I've been standing there. I've
too.
Been standing there when you and Jonathan had a very spirited conversation.
That's right, because he came to my house when I got his flyer in the mail that he was good. There were going to be a special election for him for the 9th ward when that miserable Eva Worthy. I mean, it was the most miserable 9th ward council person I ever seen.
Did you see her?
Do I see her?
You said that you ever seen. You talking about just when you came to council meeting?
Yeah, because she showed up when she was running for that seat. She came around, and said, I'm Eva Worthing and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then we voted for her.
Only 65 of y'all voted for her.
Yeah.
The first time.
But we never seen her again. She never come around, not one time. I would call her phone and she would sit up and say, oh, well, I work for the Michigan State or Michigan University.
She's a teacher or something. United Teachers or something.
Well, do your day job, but don't sit up and say you can't take care of the 9th ward, because then you need to go back to your day job. Then she got to where her mailbox would be full. You couldn't even leave her a message.
Well, that's why she said she returned all her calls, because she didn't have any to return.
That's right.
Ms Gladyes, that's your phone going off?
I'm turning it
You
off.
Put it on silent. I'll remind you to turn it back on before we leave.
I'll just turn it off.
So let's go back to the other night where you were you had some little words.
Listen, these people, I'm a delegate. I represent my constituents. And these people will wear my phone out. I tell Jonathan, when things ain't going right in the 9th ward and people call me, I'm calling you, Jonathan.
I was on the ballot for a delegate. I won back when I was like 20-something years old for precinct 41. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just on the ballot.
But most people don't. I didn't know what I was doing the first 2 years. But you learn. That's why I wouldn't give you 2 sheets of snot for the Republican Party or the Democrat Party. These people have sold us out.
Okay, let's stay on Cloud Road. Then we're gonna turn on Pearson Road.
All right.
Now let's go back to Monday night. Why did you move on the other side of Art?
Because that woman, she came up, she moved my papers out of that chair. She could have sat on the end chair.
Okay.
No, she didn't want to sit on the end chair. No, she moved my papers and she put herself right next to me. And then all of a sudden she was calling me a dirty bitch. And then she was going to kick my ass. I was like, okay. Because I have a reverse shoulder replacement.
Even if you didn't, you couldn't fight. I can't fight.
And so I got up and I went and sat on the other side of Art Woodson. I said, Art Woodson, don't let her beat on me. He said, you sit right here, Gladys. She ain't gonna beat on you. So then I went and I had to go get my cushion. I was like, give me my cushion, give me my phone. I'm going over here.
I want all my shit. I ain't going back.
No way. I mean, I was like,
she said, I done lived through water and everything. I ain't getting my ass whooped at council over nothing.
No, and then when everybody heard it up there at the,
that's what I'm saying. Didn't they not hear it? They didn't say shit.
They heard it.
They can hear me cough in the back, and
They
I get
hear
a
all
warning.
of us. I mean, we can't even fart without them hearing it.
I
True,
wouldn't go say
true.
that, but that's
Yeah,
the
I'll say it.
Right.
You know me. I just really
I
don't.
know.
You know what?
T. What up, though?
I really don't care. You can like me or you can hate me, but as long as the Lord loves me, I got the green light. That's it.
Everybody, Ms Gladyes. So tell us, as the night went on, Ms Gladyes, what the hell? And then you know, Liddell invited them all back.
You said that.
She put out a Facebook post, and then she went on the news and made a statement. I invite the grieving family back again to the next meeting.
And when Miss Burns called point of order and told Candace, you know, I think she just said, well, Gladys, dirty bitch. She did. And she should have her first warning. Well, Candace said, no, I didn't hear it. Well, yes, she did. But that was setting the stage for what happened later on that night. But had Candace done her job and gave her a first warning and put a restraint on this group, none of that would have happened. But she gave her a green light. Candace gave them a green light.
Mm-hmm.
By not giving her a first warning.
Right.
If that was me,
shit, you've been sitting in
I'd
the hall.
have been out in the hall already.
Everybody, over 200 people watching. We
and there
already know
wasn't
that.
even a police officer there to offer me a chair.
Can you believe that?
No.
The other night, one police officer
That's
just
right.
sitting way back in
And
the
then
corner,
he
never
just
seen
kind of disappeared.
disappeared when all this shit went down. Didn't see
Right.
nobody.
That's right.
And they sat up there behind the comfort of their diocese or whatever the hell you want to call it, and didn't say a word. They wanted somebody to get
That's
hurt.
our chambers.
Yeah.
Those are our chairs. They belong to the people of Flint. Mm-hmm. If you can't represent the people of Flint, your constituents that put you in that chair, get the hell out of the chair.
Right.
Go somewhere, but get up out of that seat.
Would you compare that to inciting a riot?
That was a riot. Monday night was a riot. And Lewis and Candace, they orchestrated it. And Judy Priestley, she was in on it too.
Yes, she was, Ms. Gladyes.
Yes, she was. She was
she
in
came
on
over
that.
there. I seen when she came over, she talked to the family. But the thing that bothers me the most, I do believe they were at fault for some of the things that they did. But Liddell Lewis is also at fault because she played on the emotions of this grieving family.
Shame on her.
And you still got the Biggs family that's grieving too.
That's right. They lost a grandson.
You got two families with high emotions.
And you know,
she was waiting for something to break out.
Miss Biggs will swear that her grandson got killed because of the Facebook stuff that Lewis puts out. I've heard her say, my grandson is dead because of you.
Mm.
I've heard her say it.
Mm.
And she hates Miss Biggs.
Yes, she does. For them recalls, successful recalls.
So hateful. Yeah.
Because I believe the last one was successful too.
I do too.
They just threw out everything.
That would be the city clerk.
County clerk had it this time, Mr. Dominique Clemens.
Okay, well, you know, they walk hand in hand.
Do they? Come on, man. I thought
Really?
We had a friend in Dominique.
At the county commissioner's office over there.
The county clerk's office.
The county clerk, all of them.
She said all of them.
All of them.
You've been around longer than I have.
I have.
Yeah.
So it's really your beef is with the county?
The county pulls some dirty tricks.
Mm.
Yes, they do. And they started right in when the water. I mean, I can't even tell you the times that I was over there at the commissioner's office when they were having a meeting and Mayor Weaver would come and we'd just be sitting there, you know. I mean, I have to say, politics are politics. Mm-hmm. And when you get a mayor, there's going to be things done that you kind of say, really?
Yeah.
Kind of question. But Mayor Weaver, she listened. And she would be there. I can't even begin to count the times that Karen Weaver would come up to a city council meeting from downstairs.
They told me she was there. I wasn't really
All
following
the time.
politics
She
like
always came
that.
up
Okay.
and sat in. And and if she had something to say, and sometimes she had something to say, and she would go to the mic. And for that, I would give her a thumbs up.
Do you think that this council will ever be able to work together?
No, because they hate. They have pure hate in their hearts.
They do.
It's in their minds.
They do. They do, Ms Gladyes.
Their minds are seared with hate. Their hearts are seared with hate. They want nothing but to destroy Flint. And like I've told Jonathan, when these people get done laundering this ARPA money out, we're going to end up with another 4th emergency manager in Flint.
You think so? Because
listen, all they know is to spend money. You cannot spend money that you do not have. And I've told Jonathan, Jonathan, I'm so glad you're here because you could be a lifesaver for Flint because you are a banker. You know as well as I do, when I sit down and I write my checks at the beginning of the month and my money drops into my checking account, I don't just put $1,000 extra in there that I don't have. I'd be sitting on the street. I wouldn't be in my house.
Right.
You cannot spend money you don't have. And this is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
This is all they do.
Mm-hmm.
They don't serve the people. They serve themselves.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And they moved all the ARPA money into the general fund.
That's right. So it's easy to keep it around because they were only supposed to have so long to send that money
allocated. But it is. It's allocated to the general fund.
And that is absolutely corruption.
Mm-hmm.
This is corruption. And I'll be telling them all the time, you are corrupt. You are corrupt. You are evil.
And we got a lot of corruption, a lot of evilness in this town. And I don't want to necessarily throw no more gasoline on any fires that's already lit. So I do want to say, whatever conversations that were had, I don't want, because emotions are already high enough, I don't want Liddell to be a target by saying that she caused the death of that baby. I do want to clean that up. Whatever conversations y'all had, that's between you and Miss Biggs, but I don't want to throw that out.
They didn't mean it like that. Cause I'm just,
we don't like her, but we don't want,
But right here, and like everyone says, this thing right here. I'm not on Facebook because I was on Facebook with the water. And they hacked into my little phone and they tried to drain my checking account. Because the credit union got a hold of me. I said, no. And my phone became unusable. I had to throw it away and get another one. And so I don't go on Facebook because to start with, don't include, that's gossip. Most of it is gossip.
Mm-hmm.
And then pretty soon they're digging into your personal life. And I'm an open person. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to attack me if you don't like me. But I don't go around trying to get people to hate me.
Right.
But if the shoe fits, wear it. Mm-hmm. If it don't, I'm the very first person to humble myself and say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You think that Liddell Lewis would humble herself and ask for forgiveness for some of the things that she has said?
No, but we can't be like her.
And the gaslighting that she has done lately.
No, but we can't be like her.
She just keeps getting worse at this gaslighting.
Yes, but again, we can't be like her.
Well, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But when all this happened Monday night, and I know that I watched your, I watched.
Yeah, I show the
when I came back up that aisle and went over and I was trying to get Jonathan to get control of this, and he asked,
Did Jonathan leave with you? Because child,
No,
he was
didn't
gone
leave with
fast.
me.
He was gone.
Yeah, I seen him load up and go, and he had this look on his face like he was so hurt. He was so hurt. And you know what? And when I got home, I called him, and he was so hurt. And he said, Gladys, I didn't sign up for any of this.
That's what I heard he said.
He said, no, I did not sign up for any of this.
It should be a regular business
So
meeting.
I went from one end of that council to right over to Liddell's, and she had turned the mic off.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, you need to use your gavel
Mm-hmm.
and get control of this chamber. And she looked at me, and twice she said, fuck you, Gladys. That's what she said to me. And then she started doing this with her hands. Get away, get away. Like I'm going to reach out and grab her or something.
How come they mics never on?
She shut that mic off, and when a lot of stuff was good, she'd shut it off and then she'd turn it back on. The mic at the podium. Yeah, I was listening, and she would turn that mic off and then she would turn that mic back on. And she just turned her mic off because, she didn't want to know. She got up and said, F you, Gladys, to me, then maybe I could say, okay, she said that on her own. But when she was sitting in that chair as the president telling me, F you, Gladys, I want her resignation.
So you are one of the citizens in Flint too
I
that believe that.
I want her resignation, and I want Candace's, and seriously pondering on Judy Priestley. And that first chair, he was appointed. He was appointed for his vote.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Rubber stamp.
That's exactly right. Because when we were at that meeting where they all sat at that table, that was just for show. They already knew who they were going to put in that seat. Before that,
I had congratulated him 2 weeks prior.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
And it's so crazy because, we sat here in these same seats, Mickey and I, we do the show every day. We asked for all of the first ward candidates to at least stand together, even if they didn't like each other because of the stuff and the political intimidation that was going on to Ms. Rose Morrow, who's running for first ward candidate.
Right.
They attempted to burn down her building once, wasn't successful. They came back the second time and completely destroyed and burned down her campaign headquarters, which sometimes she said, glad it wasn't a murder because she walks there sometimes at night and she works on stuff. And people doesn't know that she's in there. So we're glad that she's safe. But now we're seeing, nobody really said anything about that. They kind of just swept it under the rug. That bothered Miss Rose. I could tell it bothered her. Now we got the slicing of Carol's McIntosh big signs, and they cost a lot of money.
They do. Ooh, I seen the prices of yard signs.
And so this is all by this can't be a coincidence. Like,
it's by design.
Right, it's by design.
That's right.
That sometimes that's why I feel like you got to tackle the problem when it first happens instead of letting it linger on, and then we wouldn't have gotten.
I took my yard signs and I stuck them in my front windows.
A lot of people are doing that. They're putting them in front of their Ring cameras.
Then they started
throwing
garbage and alcohol bottles in my yard. Up, garbage. I mean, rotten food that just was packed with ants. I'd have to pick that stuff up like this. I go get a rubber glove and pick that stuff up, put it in a garbage bag, and
then go take it to your trash can.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about that now because they're going to have people coming. The mayor said back behind your house, getting your trash can.
I'm not sitting up and giving them a Friday to wait for somebody to come and get my garbage from from Priority.
You don't have to be there. They're just going to come and get it and
My house is all privacy fenced off with a cast iron gate that has.
Okay, so
I mean,
you
I
got to
have a
get
lock
up
on
and
my gate.
unlock it for them
That's
to get
right.
back there.
And I'm not coming. I'm not waiting no Fridays when my garbage gets picked up over there in the 9th Ward. I'm not sitting giving them my Friday to wonder, okay, when, because sometimes they come late at night. You think I'm gonna sit around and wait for somebody from Priority to come and get my garbage can? No. As soon as I can get, and I think Delegate James is gonna do that. He's gonna come, put that can in the back of my SUV, and he's gonna pull it up to City Council chamber, and I'm taking a picture of the ID that is matching my house and married to me.
Yeah. And you gonna give it back?
And I'm divorcing it. And I'm giving it back to the mayor. It's got his name on it.
Well, he's gonna say, well, then they can't pick up your trash.
No, because Jonathan and they said they made an agreement that the seniors, they cannot pull that can, just continue to put your garbage to the road. And they will pick it, and so they'll have a special truck that'll come along and pick up that can or pick up that garbage bags. And that's what I've been doing. I ain't used that can not once. I'm not going to use that can.
The recycle one either.
I don't recycle.
Okay.
Recycle?
Glass. Yeah, your glass and your plastic and all of that.
Listen, they got these water bottles are so thin now that within 6 months they're leaking water.
Yeah, they got an expiration date on water. Didn't know that till we had to drink it for 12 years. Mickey, you got questions. What's going on? I know you want to talk
from Mickey.
We do too.
I'm just listening. I'm still just baffled about when you said how the county doing the city of Flint. That's what
You turn your microphone back on?
My microphone was never.
Oh, okay. I thought it was on.
No, I was just tripping on how you said the county running Flint. Like, when do Flint ever decide to stand up? Because I mean, even with this, what Liddell's doing with her inciting, this is really something gonna happen. Is really something gonna happen off this council stuff with all the stuff that's out there that's been seen. Is this gonna be another? We talking about it today. Come next month, come November, it'll be swept up under the rug. Liddell gonna still be
president.
Thank you. That's exactly. These people spend money. That's what they do. I can't see where they've served except for when they want favors done and they want people to come and sit there at council and say, oh no, Judy Priestley is good to me over on the east side. Oh, is she? Oh, is she? Does she tell people that in the master plan, Flint master plan, that Flint east side don't exist?
What you mean it don't exist? The east side is Davidson. We got a bunch of willow trees. I haven't found where they planted them at though, over there in the Kersey area. Because it's all trees over there, and I didn't see no willow trees. I didn't see no newly planted trees unless they over that cliff in Kersley Park. I didn't see no trees that was planted. They said they planted 2,000 of them over there in Kersley Park. I ain't seen.
Well, here's what I know from the Flint master plan.
Mm-hmm. It's owned by not Flint. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, my foundation owns Flint's master plan.
Yes. Okay, so from Robert T. Longway Boulevard, which really steps on into the east side right there by Kersley Park.
Right.
That is going to be college.
What?
They're marching right past Robert T.
So the Cultural Center is going to expand over into that area.
Mark my words. That's why they don't do anything over there.
All they've been doing is tearing down stuff and it's Greenland.
That's right. It looks like Syria.
I went to a couple years ago. It's a place called Dave's Auto Shop. And I'm like, whoa, it's a lot of buildings and stuff around Dave's. It's a big school across the street. When I went over there to get my windshield fixed, it was just Dave's Auto Shop. It's like nothing. That's right. I was like, what was over there? I think he said Lowell or some middle school, whatever.
I lived over there on Adair. And the houses started getting torched. You'd have 3-4 empty lots. Mm-hmm. And then you might have a house. Then you'd have 2, 3 empty lots, and you might have 2 more houses. And Adair was a pretty nice little area. It was just a couple blocks from Dort Highway. But you get into the heart of the east side over by Franklin.
Yep.
Now you got
Problems.
Yeah.
Problem. She know we got problems. And we got problems coming up November 5th.
And I don't even go over on the east side no more. It's depressing.
Wait a minute. Well, you know what else is depressing? She didn't hear me the last time. November 5th.
I heard you.
Ms. Gladyes was trying to ignore me.
I was, because here's my thoughts on
and
November
we're
5th.
not gonna jump on you for your thoughts.
My thought is they're trying to get Trump is telling go vote, go vote, go vote. Republicans always wait for election day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. And I always did it. But, like I said, I voted for Obama both times.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a Republican. When people sit up and say, oh, Gladyes, you are a Republican like Judy Priestley, I take offense to that. I am not a Jew. Don't put me in no box with Judy Priestley, because I'd have to spit her out. She'd be getting up out of that box if she ever, me and her got in a box together. We'd be in the floor.
Ms. Gladyes.
I despise that woman.
I can tell.
Because, see, I have to see her at the Genesee County
Republican conventions
and all of that. And when I went to the Republican convention over there at the Dort Center, she was on the outside and all these people were the delegates were lining up to get in. And Judy Priestley was up there at the table. And, and I looked at her and I just shook my head, and she said something to me. And I started in on her. And I told her. That's right. And I said, Judy Priestley, I'm going to tell you something right now. If these delegates in all these lines trying to get in here for this convention knew that you sit in the fourth ward of the east side of Flint, and you launder money, you come up and you want to spend all this Arbor money that belongs to the people of Flint, that money should be getting funded out for roofs, hot water tanks, windows. Help these citizens stay in their homes and help them take care of their homes. That's what that money was for. They are laundering that money. And so, and I'll be drawing a crowd. Because I don't have no secrets.
Well, we know.
Yeah. And so I told her, get up out of my face, Judy, because if people know who you were at the Flint City Council and the things that you want $25,000 for weeping willow trees, give me a break. And I told her, you are crooked. And if people knew,
shut up, Mickey.
And if people knew how crooked you were and corrupt, and you call yourself a Republican, I said, you are not a Republican. You are a rhino. You are a uniparty rhino. It's rhinos and these far left Democrats. They're a uniparty. They work together and they have destroyed America.
I said within 5 years, it's just going to be one big party. You get the Democrats and Republicans. To me, they both one and the same. Some of them.
Most of them.
Damn. Okay. Well, I was giving you a break and saying
don't give neither party a break. They need to be booted right out of politics. To start with, our forefathers never meant for a politician to stay in office for 50 years.
Well, Trump said if you invite him,
he can't stay in office either.
If he make up a rule and take it to the Supreme Court,
no.
He getting rid of the Constitution.
Trust me, he's not. Trust me.
Okay.
Remember, I said this. Trust me. Don't spoon feed me a bunch of propaganda media. I think that this propaganda media. Why do you not watch Channel 12 News? Because it's propaganda. You ain't going to get nothing out of it. You ain't going to get the truth.
No,
about
you're
Flint.
definitely not going to get the truth.
All right. So
But the
that's
truth
propaganda.
is, we do know that this man did print his own Bible and put the Constitution in it.
He did.
We know he did that.
But the Constitution, he didn't write the Constitution and he didn't change the Constitution.
Well, he just don't like it no
But,
more.
you know, the man is a businessman. He is not a politician.
We know that.
No, okay, but politicians are the problem.
I think.
And well, you know what? And
Oh,
here's
what
the
you
thing
talking
why they hate him so much. They hate him because they don't have anything on him. As many times as
He got convicted 34.
Listen, I watched those hearings. I watched the one in Georgia. I watched the 2 in New York. I've watched Jack Smith from Washington. Listen, they are falling one at a time, one at a time. They are falling because they are going into appeal and they are being shucked away. It's like this Russia. And, you know, and the Mueller report. And this Mueller man, when they finally got done with their investigation, he didn't have nothing on Trump. That was a hoax. That was a hoax. You know, Trump never spoke to Putin.
Ms Gladyes, we know Trump speaks to Putin.
When he was in office, he did.
But we really can't say for certain if he has or hasn't.
When he was running, he didn't speak to Putin.
But we don't know.
But once
now.
he was in office, he did. And he spoke to North Korea and he said, listen, I got a bigger button. And this man in Korea who was shooting off missiles, you know, over South Korea, Trump told him, you're going to stop this. And he stopped it. And when he put tariffs on the CCP, they were scared of him too. And Putin, because these are powerful men. But America is, when you've got peace in America, you've got peace around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And you can't sit up and not have facts and go to a summit and almost fall down the steps. And I'm talking about Joe Biden.
Oh, Lord.
Listen.
Joe did fall a lot, though.
That's right, he did.
You know, his legs might fall sometimes.
The man should have, he did a campaign in the basement. And they used COVID to do it.
Well,
but you know, and I don't want to say no more about politics.
Shit! Just when it was getting good,
we're gonna have our differences.
Yeah, but that's
you
what
just
it's
watch
good
how
about.
this comes down. You watch. You mark my words, and you remember I said this.
Well,
if this election, I do not think there's going to be an election day. Come January 5th, I think there's going to be boots on the ground.
November 5th. You think it's going to be boots on the ground?
That's right.
You don't think it's going to be election
martial
day?
law. I think we will have martial law. Listen, they have let so many illegals come in here who are terrorists. Terrorists. I think we're going to have a 9/11 that's going to happen to us. That's going to make 9/11 look pitiful. You mark my words. There's some terrible things getting ready to hit America. It's sad. It's sad. I weep for America. Because when these people come and they don't want to integrate with us, they don't want to love America. They hate America.
Oh, Sister Taliba's 911 was orchestrated by the U.S. government.
It mighty sure was. Thank you. Yes, it was. I agree. And you know what? And old man Bush, he was the head of the CIA.
Who?
Old man Bush.
Well, behind closed doors.
Before he was president, old man Bush was the head of the CIA. Listen, yes, he was. That's exactly
I thought
right.
Hoover was there, but was it before my time?
Hoover was over the FBI.
Okay, I had confused.
That's why they're telling you to stay local.
I don't know nothing about this stuff. I'm gonna let Ms. Gladyes
That's why
talk.
they're telling you to
Well, that's
stay
why I
local.
got you. Oh, you're not
keep
talking
her
to
local.
You're not
Okay,
Keep
but
her
you know,
local.
but you
I
have
got
to keep
you.
your eye on all of it.
I got you.
But just keep her local.
All right, we'll keep her local.
What about you though?
We good. Just keep her local.
We'll keep her local.
My
And I'll
co-host
try and
ain't
stay
been
local. But
talking.
and you know, when you want to talk politics and you want to talk world,
I got questions.
hit me with them.
Okay, so we talk about the issue is brought up a lot about Trump being a racist, and he was charged by the Nixon administration for discriminating against Black people renting in his apartment buildings.
There's a difference between being charged and being convicted.
What's the difference?
One, you go to jail, and the other, you know, you get your attorney and you beat the rap.
I didn't know it was a difference because if I got charged with 30-some felonies, I'd be convicted and in jail.
90-something.
So it was 90 felonies?
President Trump has been hit with 90-some charges. 90-some charges.
And he didn't do none of them.
Well, you know what? And he's human. He fibs. I've caught him in fibs. I just tell him, you know, when you do that, then you ain't any better than them. But like I said, politics. When I went to Washington and got on those buses, what I saw in Washington was so corrupt. It was so corrupt. But, you know, these courts. Have you ever got a fair handshake from a court?
Yes.
Well, I haven't. Lord, don't let me have to go to court.
Well, I've been there.
I've been snatched up by the cops.
Damn. Have you, Ms. Gladyes?
Yes. I was in this bar one time over by Saginaw Street. And, you know, it was a black bar. I mean, I am not a racist person.
I didn't say you was.
Right. And so, you know, what happened was a pimp came in and there was somebody messing with one of his girls.
He chose you.
No, near me, I was working there. I just worked there.
Okay.
And this guy come in with his 44 Magnum, and he blew this guy's head off.
Damn.
I mean, the guy, when he seen him, he took off running out to try and get out the back door. And listen, that pimp shot him and blew his head off and pushed him up them steps and so he kind of like fell over into the back of the building, and his back was just left there at the steps. And the police came. Yeah, and you know, the police grabbed me up and put cuffs on me and took me to jail and said, yeah, you look like this pimp's prostitute named Candy. I tried to tell him, I am not Candy. But listen, I went to jail and I had to get an attorney. And I beat that rap, but I know what happened. I know the cops of Flint. Yeah, these people, these people. And that's when Flint had their own jail open. That's when when you got locked up by Flint, you got locked up in the jail.
In the city jail.
In the city jail.
Well, they were supposed to have the city jail open, ran by the county, but the mayor and the sheriffs, something happened there. He was supposed to release the check, and the mayor was. He kind of like did it for headlines.
That's more laundering out these back pocket deals.
And that's crazy because the residents suffer. But we
do suffer. We all suffer.
Judy Priestley said it, and I quote, go back and pull the tapes. This money was not referring to the ARPA money. This money was not sent here for you. It was sent here for us by the government. It was sent to the government by the government.
It was sent to them.
Mhm.
Like,
She said it was not
here
sent to
you
the
go,
people,
Mayor of Flint.
to the government. Yes, she said that. Didn't she say it, Mickey? Hello?
Do you believe that, though? Do you believe that? Okay, I don't believe that. I don't
I'm
believe
waiting
that.
for him to ask something.
Go ahead, Mickey.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
wait. We're gonna
listening
wait
to
for
you.
we waiting for you to ask the question.
Because I'm listening to Gladys. I done went local. You keep going the other way.
No, I'm
almost-
I'm
out
staying.
of
I'm
this.
here. I'm staying
No.
local.
No.
I would
off the
like
plane
for you
on
to
this one.
participate.
I'm off the plane on this one. No, Ms. Gladyes. Like I said, we ain't gonna. It is what it is. I'm looking at like, is Liddell? Is anybody gonna be charges coming on that for what's happened at council?
I'm demanding it.
I mean, if it's not that, we not hearing that. All that others, I can really care less.
And I don't want no appointment by the mayor saying, "Oh, I'm going to investigate this." No, because if he investigates it, it's going to be a big wash.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the national level, whatever they're gonna do, but it's local. What I'm looking at, because we can really pick anything out of anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mickey, if
why-
you don't get the city right, if you don't get the politics in the city right, then you might as well just forget
national.
trying to do national.
Yeah, because it's like what you speaking on national for when you really is local. See, local is really where you're gonna get the help at. That's where it's coming from. Because all of the national gonna do, like they said, they sent the money, but it's when the money get here is when. But that's local. So you know what I'm saying, and we already know both sides. I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we
really.
froze Snyder's money.
Right.
With the water lawsuits.
Right.
We froze Snyder's money, and the judges of Michigan released his money, I think 2 or 3 years ago. So they released his money and nothing happened to Snyder. Right. So, okay, nothing's going to happen at our capital. Right. So then we get to the city of Flint.
Yeah.
And they ain't dealing with the people either.
And that's the point that I'm trying to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Like I see the local, like what's going on, but who gonna come up and say something? You know what I'm saying? It's like you got the governor now, which I find crazy. Everybody mad, like people so mad at, I'm gonna say they so mad at Trump, right? And I don't agree. But what about Gretchen Whitmer? How y'all feel about Gretchen Whitmer? Like she took Snyder endorsement. Snyder endorsed her. Didn't nobody bat an eye.
That's that uniparty.
Yeah, didn't nobody bat an eye.
Uniparty.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just like even with here when you're looking at, okay, you had as far as the mayor. The governor saying the water good. Why not the mayor gonna say the water not good?
Well, hell, Obama came to Flint and said the water's good.
That's what I'm saying.
Drink up. He said, drink up.
Everybody in on it. So like, how can we win when you see in the council people like, matter of fact, what the Athens Accountability Board gonna do, the ENA board? What is they gonna do about this? I'm not looking at so much. I don't want on this aspect. I don't really want to grieve the family to be really jammed up because they was grieving. I really want to see what that second ward, the president and the vice president and the fourth ward, Judy. Y'all seen what was going on. Like you said something got kicked out like that. She said the water got a warning. This what I'm saying, like, what is the ENA board gonna do? How long when you see, we done seen before, bless his soul, rest his soul, Mays, before he left, go to the ENA board. We didn't heard when you see Miss Billy when they was calling her up.
Oh, that was shameful.
But hers made it right to the front. Liddell's don't make it through there. You got not Clyde. What's the other guy's name? I'm just being honest now. I mean, it is what it is. What's the administration dude name? Ed Taylor. Ashamed. Yeah. He should be ashamed of himself.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. People be cool with these people. Sister Audrey Muhammad went up there to tell him.
They move undercover.
No, but they're part of it too.
But they are, but you never know it.
But people went to them though, Ms. Gladyes. Sis Audrey went up there to what's his name again? I keep forgetting. Ed Taylor. But see, the people in the community, a big up there. This why I get mad. Even when he come down, this big Ed. I don't care about them titles and that. This big Ed, but you getting messed over. See, to me, our community be so geeked about, oh, they see somebody getting money. It's not your money. You know what I'm saying? Since Arby went down to it show you how much it wasn't just Candace and Judy and Liddell and let's go with the administration at the table. I see people be sitting down there. Oh, they can go down there, and I like Clyde's. I liked it. When Michigan won their championship, we talked. But I got to look at them different now. I'm not gonna be down there, hey, smiling when I see them. I'll probably be turning my back to them. When somebody came and told y'all know it's a grieving family. This is why I fall out with everybody. Y'all can sit up and smile up and be friends with these people, and y'all seeing they didn't care. But then you want to say, you know what I'm saying? Like all this, because Miss Biggs want to, she recall. This what I'm talking about, a recall. Got you turning your back like you so angry. A recall? A recall.
Within the law.
But yet we be friends with these people. Like I'm really frustrated with it. Because I don't know how a lot of these people can call these people friends when you seeing shit getting all the way out of hand. Ain't nobody gonna call the mayor out. Ain't nobody's all of them from his administration to Liddell Lewis, Judy Priestley, and Candace Mouchet. All of them should be in jail right now. It shouldn't be no back and forth. We going through this. Kamala, this shit. We got our own problems right here.
Trevor said it right.
Yeah.
When Trevor came on and made his statement about, this is all of this, and this, and he gave the facts, Trevor was right. These people should have been arrested for inciting a riot.
And that goes to Liddell Lewis, and but show you how bolder she is. She get right back on Facebook. That's what I want to know.
See, that just shocks me. See, Facebook. There you go. I'm telling you what, this thing destroys lives because words matter.
Yeah, and I'm talking about even social to media. See Miss Biggs had to get a police escort home. And I remember this one. I got to give a shout out to Effie's baby boy, Papa Jared. This ain't the first time. People keep forgetting about what's that one politician that ended up dying. The guy killed him and his wife back in the day. Fred Tucker. But see, I remember Papa said this, like he said, why would he come down there? He said, if I got to bring a gun to city council. But it was the games that was played at city council that got Fred Tucker took out. Now we got games that's played by some idiots. Now these ain't, and I'm going to say this, ain't none of them can hold or really. And I wasn't even around. I was probably 2 years old or whatever. I wasn't even around, but no, Liddell Lewis, Candace Mouchet, and Judy could carry his bag of Fred. I mean, the councilman that passed, that lost his life, him and his wife. They can't even carry his bags, but yet you saying
can't fill his shoes.
Right, fill his shoes, and you saying they inciting it. But like you say, social media. She can go back on there. My only plea to Murphy and family, and this just me. Like I said, I said what I said. I stand on mine about what I said politically. I disagree with everything he did.
And you know what I said when that woman come over, and after I got done speaking, she gave me a fist bump, and then she said, "Me and Quincy are cousins," and I just told her, I pointed to his chair and I said, I didn't know this Quincy. I said, the Quincy that I knew during the leaded water poisoning, it got on all the buses, the ones to Washington, the one to Chicago, the Steve Harvey, the one to Lansing. I knew that Quincy.
Y'all sat on the same side.
But that's the point. Yeah, but that's the point that I'm trying to make.
And so when she said, and she started in, I just said, I didn't know that Quincy. The Quincy that sat in that chair, I didn't know.
And that's the only thing.
And I have the right to say that. Yeah, I didn't know that Quincy.
Yeah, but what we do have to understand is just being, and this is great examples that have been proven. And I use Malcolm X when Honorable Elijah Muhammad had told him John F. Kennedy was loved by both black and white. Even when he said, it was what he said. And I think sometimes when a person do die, you got to get that grieving time, regardless if you disagree with them politically or not. But how people, when somebody died and when they love, you can, that grieving moment in that mind. All they seeing is, okay, we was, people was doing this and that. They were going at them politically. But my thing is, and trying to take some wise words that was given, you gotta be kind of how you saying it, even though we speaking
That's
truth
right.
to it, but you got to give a time of grieving, and then you can go ahead. I just feel like with Liddell, to me, she took a situation with a grieving family and understanding it, and plus we was in the heat of political moment, and he was recalled. You got to throw all that up in there for her to use them. Of course, something was going. You couldn't expect nothing to go wrong.
What'd she expect?
Yeah,
But to invite him back again.
But I mean, but that's the. But
So
that,
are they coming?
But that's
I don't
the.
know.
But that's the disrespect. Because let's just say this: they might come. Who knows? They might come in just sitting there to listen. But all you can go by is what you see,
Right.
or what happened the first time.
But
Like I
Liddell's
said,
going to steer that pot, and they're
But-
going to be sitting there, and God knows what's going
But-
to happen again.
But that's the problem point that I always say this, like, and I'm just being honest. We see it, but we need more Gladyses, more Taylor, Sampson to be up there. Not just us, but we need it. We ain't just voted for Neely to be in. You know what I'm saying?
We need
him.
more Claire McClintons.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
That woman is my hero.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we still need, when people saying that's wrong, because we sitting up here, we get on here from Monday to Friday, say this and that, but nothing happened. I'll give you an example. And this what I hate with our people. And I'm speaking on black. That's all I can speak on. What I hate. Now, don't get me wrong, as they should do. Charges should be filed on what went down. But why wouldn't the same thing when Doug went in these people mailboxes? This is why I get mad at the black people. That's why I'm mad with Linda Booth. And this my girl, this is her family member.
I'm up getting my mailbox.
But politically, this is what I'm saying. I don't go off in that because you my cousin. And I'm not going to call you out. I'm going to call you out because I would like to be called out. But, you know, with Tanya, them, whatever they do, they should do. Anybody that felt they should be pressing charges. But my thing is, we can press on each other, but why wasn't no charges pressed on Doug? The ENA board let Doug come down and do whatever he wanted to do. Even forced them to fire Miss Shasta Little. Fired her. But it's like, but the people on that board could have did something to stop this with Doug where it went this far. Y'all should have pressed charges, went to the postmaster, but you know what? They didn't go to it. But yet these same people, they want you to vote them, put them on other boards. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at that. But
and they get on them.
But what you would see is what should be done. Tanya them should go through if you know what I'm saying, if anybody that was threatened. Because you know what I'm saying?
Angela Lynette.
In a civilized world, that's how you handle business.
You know, nowadays wrong is right and right is wrong.
Right.
Because anybody that messes with somebody's mailbox, it's against the law. It's a federal law against it.
Well, why? Well, the thing,
so what they did is they let him do this break the federal law, tampering with people's mailboxes, and then they rewarded him.
That's what I'm saying.
How can you do that?
And that's what I'm saying. But they ain't looked at none of that. You got Trishelle Young on the ENA board, Joe King. You know, William Harris. And I see him, but he'll call himself elder. That's why I get mad with these people.
Get me going on that.
When they be using God. God don't need no more people to lie on him. He got enough liars on him. But why he need more? And they do. You see how William, the ENA board had it out for Billy more than they had it out for Doug.
That's right. I was so glad to see Billy Monday. I had to go over and hug her. Right. I love her so much because she fought the water.
She stood up. Even when she had to stand alone, she stood up.
But that's what I'm saying. Right. But why not? But why not? And if you see it, you see more people that's for bad than it is for good. And this where I get off of it. It's like you can see people begging. And this my only thing. We seen a woman, like I said, house was raining in. That she said her daughter was raining in. You never once saw Liddell Lewis, Quincy Murphy, Leon in the first ward. I'm just naming out the blacks. Leon in the first ward. You can never get, and it's a majority black council. You couldn't even get them to agree on to help the north side. No money going to the north of the Flint River.
And God forbid they would help Eric Mays.
They wouldn't.
And then,
They wouldn't, but now they
Now
on
they want
Dennis.
this grocery store.
They just sold
Why?
for the grocery
They've
store
fought for
now.
this
You're
grocery
right.
store for
You're right.
years. I mean, election after election, he would want this grocery store. I just, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But this the sad thing. None of them come up there with all their stuff together, but they'll push it through. That's why I'm saying.
That's what they ain't used to vet nothing.
It was my only thing to Jonathan, Dennis, Jerry Winfrey Carter, and Tanya Burns. Ain't nothing passing. Hold your vote. Ain't nothing
That's
passing. Nothing. You just seen what went down in council. They trying to bully somebody running for the third ward, and it ain't really like I say. I'm not blaming the family. I understand when doing a tragedy how stuff is. I was messed up with my parents.
They should have never
did
been
y'all
invited
see
there.
the little stuff that happened? Now they just went through a funeral Saturday. Now when they had the interviews, and if y'all think I'm lying, go back and look. When they had the interviews for Eric Mays, his desk, his everything was taken down.
Yeah.
Okay, everything was gone from up there.
Yeah.
Now you didn't invited the family. You having interviews that day. You know they already got stuff going through their head, and you still got all of this up there in Quincy's spot, and they got to look at that again.
Fresh.
It just brings all of that shit back up. This stuff wasn't intentional that Liddell set up like a demon, and I said it. You should not.
Well, I just put your number up there because I got a text.
You should not just go after a grieving
your
family.
rights want to call in.
Okay, well, the phone lines are open.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, but what's somebody going to do to that? Even with you, don't get me wrong. It was disrespectful what it said. But when people, that's why they say you should never, and I'm just learning from what I be reading from the NOI. Like, that's why they don't be really want guns in the house, because when you angry, what you would go do, first thing people do, what they go do when you know what I'm saying? We need way better conflict resolutions.
The optics.
It's a miracle that nobody got dead on the floor.
But
a miracle.
Yeah, and the point that it is that Liddell Lewis instigated this whole. I know I ain't gonna just say Liddell.
When I came out of that bathroom and I heard these people out in the hallway just shrieking and screaming, and then when I come out and they've got their hands,
I was wondering because I couldn't remember who told me they came out the bathroom. It was you.
Because I went into the bathroom to take my night medicine, and when I didn't even come out. I heard this screaming and screeching and yelling, and I said, "What on earth is going on?" So when I walked out, like I said, that group was trying to get to Miss Biggs. I was like, oh, and that's when I come running back in and telling them and that's when I start accusing all them people sitting at them back tables from the administration. Yous let this happen. Did any of yous get on your phone and call the cops? Call the cops.
But this is what I'm saying. But that's the point I want to make. Is that the cops are showing up for everybody else.
Eric Mays had 9 to drag him out.
Everybody else. But this is the first time I never seen, like, if I would say this, if Candace and Liddell never said this, never was calling for the police, I'd be like, well, it's not strange for them. But we got president where they called police, and they didn't do this. Like, I'm more mad with them and administration. Because what the mayor first thing come out, why you ain't checked, what's his name? Ed Taylor. Clyde.
Elijah, it was first.
Sister Audrey Muhammad went up there and told them this 2 hours.
That's right.
Not no 30 minutes or 5 minutes before it happened.
Because when they start calling me names and saying that stuff to me, I got up after I was next to Art and I went back and talked to Sister Muhammad. Yeah. And and she was like me, there ain't no cops here.
And that's what I'm saying. And
she said, I'm staying right over here.
But that's what I'm saying. So what is the governor at on this? Where's the Democratic Party at on this? Where's the Republican Party at on this? Where's the outrage when you looking at how rogue your council is, the mayor is, because this still fall on the mayor at the end of the day.
Yep, this is the city.
If it wasn't Sis Audrey didn't go and say nothing, then I could be like, you know what? If I ain't see Liddell and Candace calling for the police, if you holler out water, you got a warning. They never did nothing and said nothing to try to do this. And you know how we know they didn't do this? Because look when Doug got up there. They never question Doug. You know what they say?
That's
Oh,
right.
y'all don't like it when people talk about us.
That's right.
But now this is where we at. Not where we at right now. What is they gonna do? That's my thing. I just want to know.
Which they sure ain't hiding if they're inviting that group back over here.
No, she
And that is on the 24th, by the way. That next meeting for city council is the 24th.
Yeah.
What they talking about next Wednesday's meeting? Are they going to next Wednesday?
I think that is the 24th.
But it should.
Is that the
only
24th?
thing? Only
Okay.
thing
The
should be
23rd, I
there.
think.
Non-negotiable. We not passing
But
nothing.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Wednesday, October the
We
23rd.
not passing. And how
Okay,
can they even go back to council? I mean, like pass something for them. I don't care if you my mom. I said it yesterday. It could be my mama coming up here. Liddell them and rest her soul. It could be one of my aunties. We would just be into it. We not passing none of this corrupt.
You know what they want, and I believe this wholeheartedly. Remember when we was saying, no, you ain't putting no bars at the doors of the chamber.
Mhm.
You
The
know,
metal detectors that they
and,
want to put.
and they ain't never getting in my purse. I done went through that in Washington.
Mhm.
Listen, when I went through them metal doors in Washington both times, they went in, they took my toenail clippers, they took my fingernail file, they took my hand sanitizer, and both times they made me put my purse
in a locker.
in Debbie Stabenow's office.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So I think what she's doing, because we beat that down a couple months ago. I think what they're doing is they're trying to get them bars put back up there that we have to walk through.
But only crooks
And they're
need
stealing
that.
some more of our freedoms.
Yeah, but that's crooks though. These are crooks that we got in. I'm not saying all, but the voting block that's rolled with the mayor, them crooks to me, allegedly. Because where was it at? Like, you know what I'm saying? We can speak up on Trump. Like, I hear that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not for him.
Right.
On the January 6th, Trump did this. Well, where they wanted everybody charged. Well, how that same attitude
Ain't happening in our chambers.
Yeah, how that same attitude with the mayor? Because it was so many failures that was around. How can Ed Taylor and Clyde, when somebody tell y'all you need to get some police down here? And I'm gonna keep putting that out. I might not been all the way 100% on the other stuff that was coming to my table that day, Ed, but I'm on right on this one.
Well, listen, when them police finally made it in there, and I told them, yous are about a day late and $1 short.
Mm-hmm.
And they were.
How do they have jobs? That's what I'm saying.
When they come rolling up them steps.
How do they have jobs?
Woo!
How do Ed Taylor have a job? How do Clyde have a job? I want to know why they still have jobs, why they not arrested. But you know who would mess around and get arrested? You're looking at them, me, because they got the connections. Why they not? When somebody came and told you this was going to happen, you don't say nothing. When you see any other
One of them
time,
cops grabbed a hold of me from behind and put his hands on my shoulder. I flipped around and I said, "Get your hand! Don't put your hands on me."
But this month, I'm going back to this. Why not? I'm like Eric Mays. Why the mayor not called down right? Because you can't ask. We need an investigation. My thing with Dennis, Jerry, Tanya, and JWC and Jonathan, I mean, this is my thing. We're not doing no investigation. Ain't nothing getting passed.
Jonathan said that he's going to get to the bottom of this and things are going to change.
I
said, okay,
Jonathan,
I get but I've told Jonathan, you are naive, Jonathan. You are a good man.
Yes.
And you are a Christian, but you are very naive and you know nothing about politics.
And why'd you tell him that when he said he's gonna get to the bottom of it? Because I'm looking at the chat. People said they tired of just seeing us complain about it. When are the residents gonna get together and do something?
But you know what? As long as you've got that political machine, and that's what rules. It's a political machine. It rules the Republican Party and it rules the Democrat Party. It is that dark money from the elites, like the Meyer brothers, like Betsy DeVos. And money starts rolling to judges. Money starts rolling into campaigns from these elites. And that's where they depend on their money. And if you think that Mayor Neely didn't get none of that big elite money, you think again.
Remember when Eric Mays kept talking
That
about that dark
machine
literature
fed him
and that dark
his
money?
seat.
Yep.
That's exactly right. You know, and that's where me and Eric Mays, we'd stand. Yeah. Yeah.
No, we not on Big Shady. You mishearing that. She was just saying that she said that about him being nice, thinking you gonna get the work done. That's what she was talking about.
Yeah, we not shitting on him at all.
But I'm still gonna say this to JWC, Jonathan Double J, Tanya Burns, and Dennis Pfeiffer. Non-negotiable. It's not nothing getting passed. Dennis told you, the other day when he was on here, the money already allocated. And he told you the thing they wanted to do was sell the park. You see all this stuff going on. You see they running the Channel 12. Oh, Mid-Michigan putting it out. Probably going to have the Flint Beat putting it out too. Because these are all these people who getting money from it. Show me when they ever criticized the mayor. Did y'all hear anything about how much was it on the news about the way that the vice president and the president and the finance chair incited a riot? Did you hear the news say anything about that? Did you hear the news say anything about Sis Audrey Muhammad?
I listened to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The news said it was a fight at city council.
But did the news say that? Did you hear about? Did they interview anybody from the other side that can? Did they interview Sis Audrey Muhammad when she said she went to Clyde and went to Ed Taylor and told them 2 hours? Now let's mind you, they had a 2 hour ahead time to stop this before this went this far.
That's right.
2 hours. What could you have prevented in 2 hours?
Well, you know, they didn't want to prevent. They wanted this. This was orchestrated. Very, very good. I mean, this was orchestrated because when I got my 3 minutes to speak, Lewis was already smirking. You heard me tell her, yeah, you and that smirk.
But then she cuss you out up there?
She said, fuck you, Gladyes.
She sure did. Because I went from Jarrett and he was trying to get their attention, Candace, Lewis, and they wouldn't even acknowledge Jonathan. So then I went, and it was on film. I saw me go across and get in front of Lewis and she turned her mic off and I said, I demand that you use your gavel and you get control of this.
Normally she would be beating it so hard. Remember, I said it's like she's playing the damn drums.
That's exactly right.
Let Tanya say an extra 3 sentences. Liddell is beating the hell out of that gavel.
That's exactly right.
She'll stop the whole meeting. Wait a minute. I hear somebody on this side saying something.
Well, when they didn't give that woman a first warning, and I know if Jerry and Miss Burns and Jonathan and Dennis, I mean, everybody heard her call me a dirty bitch. Who didn't hear it? But, they hear us talking back there, but they didn't hear that. They heard it. And if she took control and done her job as the vice president of the city council and tampered that down and said, no, we ain't going to have that in chambers. You know, we ain't going to have that.
But the thing
they didn't do that.
But it was more, like I said, that to me, it was like the administration, the ones that was there, Candace, the vice president, the president, Liddell Lewis, and Judy Priestley. They knew what was going on. This is my whole thing. When is the police gonna come up there and deal with Ed Taylor and Clyde Edwards and the rest who was in on that? I blame Ed Taylor and Clyde Edwards on this because Sis Audrey went up there and told you. I don't want to hear about all this lying and stuff. Ain't nobody said no. She went up there and told you 2 hours ahead of time. But the thing is, they never get in trouble for nothing. When he did that down at the Dome, he got a way to get that with the Dome. You know, when people, here comes such and such. I get so sick of that shit though, because they feel like all this going on. They got crooks running the city of Flint.
Well, you know what? When that clerk said nobody qualified to be contacted for that interview, you know, I went over to Carrie Nelson. Listen, Carrie Nelson sat on city council for years. And when she said nobody qualified, I went to Carrie and I said, how do you not qualify?
Because he didn't do nothing when he was up there twice.
Well, he really didn't, but you know what? He never let me. We used to go around. But at least he was kind. I mean,
Yeah, it'd be nice and be a rubber stamp.
Yeah,
We don't
and
need
he
no more.
was.
but look at he was nice to certain people. He wasn't nice to the church he was at. You see how we can always pull different things.
Oh
You see how we can pull certain things
no!
up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you see how we can pull certain things up on different people. That's why I don't really like to play that game. Oh, this person did this. We can go prove. Listen,
And you know how I feel about Dennis.
Right.
But you know what? He had the right to be contacted. And when they brought up his past about his taxes and his water, and it wasn't even really in default yet.
No, February.
So, you know, I can.
Well, March 1st, 2025.
Right is right and wrong is wrong. And that meeting should have been called. And all these people that paid their money to run, they should have been called, and it should have been a meeting.
But look how they did it.
They should have had a separate
But look how
meeting.
Davina did it.
Yeah.
You talking about a bill that ain't due the next year.
Right.
$118 bill that's due right. And she jumped behind this, and that's why I say Davina must go too. Everybody can say what they want to say. Oh, we'll get Gloria. You have to really clean Flint, like you know how when they say they take all the cancer out.
Breath away.
Yep, you do.
Well, you got to take all the cancer out, but I kept telling y'all, did nobody want to agree? Who you think Davina learned the game from? Miss Inez Brown. Everybody want to say Inez Brown is this. She was so great. Sister Muhammad, I got Sis Audrey. I got to give her credit again.
She messed up on the balance.
No. When she went, when Inez Brown, when she went to Liddell and said Liddell wasn't living here for a year. You know what her great speech was on her way out? Oh, we got to start doing right. Once they turned against her, now we got to be honest, Quincy, he was in on that getting rid of her. See, you know what I'm saying? You do got to speak some truth on some of the stuff. They wanted to put her job off for an interview.
Yep.
They wanted her out.
I remember that.
But Miss Davina was with it. Everybody, she's a treasure. What? Because she knew the game? That's what they call treasure. It seems like everybody that get in them seats, they be good until they get corrupted. Because you know
when they get caught.
Yeah, when that money start coming. No, because it's lifestyle. God, let's be honest. They know most of these people are poor when they get in them seats. Yep. They get you, the elites get them used to a lifestyle. If you've been riding around in a $800 car with no insurance on it, then you can ride around and you get to ride around in a 2024. You know what I'm saying? You bringing home maybe $1,500. You cutting deals. You wasn't getting this at first. You getting $100,000 here. You getting this. You can go put $25,000 in. We go take trips. Candace even was finna bring in $300,000 for her job for the ARPA money. And don't get me wrong, I understand it. Listen, I'm a businessman. I understand business. But if I'm seeing this person doing it, don't make it right. Just like when Dennis seen stuff was getting from Ashley Capital. You can't be mad at if what we seen. AC Dumas took $125. I don't think Ashley Capital will buy him off if he get in that third ward seat. He took $125 for an interview. They already put their bid in on him. But I'm not gonna sit up here and say, like, who else would have took the money? You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Money talks, bullshit walks. And Brother Robert's always been telling me, only power respect power. If them folks don't realize they got power, it's unbelievable.
And you know what? And when they give you money and you get used to having that money, listen, that's when they own you. And that's when they start telling you, you're going to do this.
And you can't say no.
And you can't say no.
Because you were used to
it already.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
when Miss Burns had all them receipts from all that money that they had taken for the mayor to buy their vote, and they put her out in the streets, and she couldn't represent her constituents that put her in office.
Right.
Facts.
That was wrong.
Right.
Facts.
That's a fact.
They had no voice in that whole ward.
That's right.
It's like
that was illegal.
Yeah.
No, but look how they did the 7th ward. Remember, they fought. The council fought to get Candace on the ballot. Look with Leon. Basically, even with this, you see how they trying to hold the election like we can't have one. We're gonna point our person. Closest we can do it is in May. How you figure that? Like they come up, and to me, you can see it from the state level. The state left it vague what they said. It left wordplay for Dominique to say what he could say. Then we put it back in Davina hand. Which way you think Davina gonna go?
And they tell her to consult with the interim attorney.
That's right.
Who worked for who?
Attorneys that are city attorneys, Yeah, these people.
Who they work for?
These city attorneys. Oh, I'm going to tell you what, they are so corrupt. I think that they are the root of the evil that they get away with downstairs at the mayor's office.
There you go.
But they don't say, but you know what? You know what you're not gonna hear? What is sad is that the citizens that the ones who is here, the mayor got friends with, y'all mean to tell me y'all gonna still say that water good? My thing is bring the water down there and let the mayor drink it. Let Clyde them drink it. Let what's the other person? Let Ed Taylor drink it.
They gonna drink it.
Let Emily Dore drink. Do they even stay in Flint?
I don't know, but I do know this about the Emily Dore post on social media. Let somebody else who work at the city that's not
Why
for
don't
the
we
sale
hear
of
some
that part.
speakers?
Let them say something
Yeah.
and get to that post and see if they not wrote up
You got
in HR.
anybody wanting to call in?
No, this call for me.
Yeah, no, I thought what's the name, but I'm just
Nobody
saying
called
we
yet.
need real lawyers. Like I don't want to go with nobody like you got control of the lawyer. We seen that. If you're not in this certain clique, let's just be honest.
Phone lines are open, y'all.
If you're not in this certain clique, you're not gonna get no help. I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna stand with Dennis.
But that's true.
Through this fight. I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
We read this reply.
I'm gonna stand with certain people doing this fight to get this down. But I'm not gonna be cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I did see something on
Be
one.
real.
Yeah, because my thing is, because I know a lot of times, you know, the bump gets shots took at them. But let me just say this. Only a fool will keep dealing with people who dealing with their enemies.
That's right.
Only a fool.
But you know,
we got
say,
a call. We got a call.
All right.
And you're going to keep it clean and nice.
Please.
And what's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, this Kevin Tay out of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's time for everybody in the city to just go ahead and drop a class act lawsuit against the whole city.
There you go.
That makes sense.
And just go move forward. If we got to remove everybody out of there, we got to stop this. It's over with. Yep. And do not use no city attorneys to even file the claim.
That's true. That's true, Kevin.
You can't use the city attorney. All of the city attorneys in Genesee County has been bought up, and they're no good, and they're all for their own pockets.
That's true.
Yeah,
he's right.
Okay.
And if people really want to move forward, everybody need to reach out to somebody, because everybody knows somebody, and just find out what you got to do to even get a motion going. File it in federal court. Ask for Supreme Court. Let them do the ruling and judging on it, because they can't be bought.
That's true.
Well, listen, money can reach
money
a long
can
way.
right. But we got a better chance of them not being bought out by somebody local.
If y'all go watch,
thank you, Kevin.
Good look, thanks too. If y'all go watch the Tulsa King, I'm doing a shameless plug. I ain't getting no money from it. From Sylvester Stallone, he playing a mob guy named Manfredi. You be watching it.
I watched.
Did you see how the dude that helped the U.S. attorney? He a weed seller. He doing business, but he wanted to put Sylvester Stallone out. But look who he sick on. He get the U.S. attorney. These people got judges in their pockets.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They got district attorneys in their pocket. They got damn near to governors in their pocket. Right. How y'all gonna beat long money when you can see a judge voted against it? The one judge with Eric May, he voted against his own decision. Did you hear what happened with what's her name, Allie Hokenroder, when she got caught for perjuring herself in court?
She got in trouble and got that good 6-figure state job.
Well, here's what I know about judges being bought and paid for. When we went to Lansing, when the Republican Genesee and all the delegates of the state of Michigan went to Lansing to appoint and elect our chairperson of the state of Michigan to represent the Republican Party. Yeah. Okay. We were there from 8:00 in the morning until 8:00 at night. And they were like trying to put us out of the building in Lansing. We went through 3 votes. It took 3 votes to put Christina Karama in. Now, this was a beautiful Christian little black lady. She was an attorney and she got the vote. But, when they voted once, okay, that put out there, because there was like 4 or 5 people running for that chairperson seat.
Mhm.
So we voted once, and that took out a couple, and voted. Then we voted again. You know, and Christina was hanging on. I mean, people we were voting for, and it got to the third vote. And by the time, I mean, when one vote went, there was already papers and flyers made up. These three men.
They can still hear you though.
And you know, we were ticked off because the delegates were supposed to elect the chairperson, not the elites. So the third vote, Christina won. And she, you know, and from the time these elites and these executive committees walked out the door, it only took a year for them to get with Betsy DeVos, the Meyer brothers, and they bought a judge in Grand Rapids, and they brought Christina in because they said she couldn't fundraise.
Wow.
Well, they cut her money off. These elites cut her money off. So of course she couldn't fundraise. You're either in the clique or you're out of the clique. And when these elites want you out, you're out.
Right.
And if you think that ain't happening in Flint, that's happening in Flint.
We see it all the time.
That's why Flint city mayor office has how many lawyers? 3. I think I've seen 3 come up there and sit their butts down in that seat.
They rotate. Now, how are you ever gonna get the full function of what's going on and keep up with everything from the prior meeting or last month's meeting, and you're on a rotating basis?
Well, listen, they have those meetings. I've been to the city mayor's office, and I never get.
You get back there?
I get to the front doors.
Oh, they don't let you back to see.
They don't let nobody see him. At least I could see old crooked Don Williamson. And I wanted my tree removed, the city tree, because it was like rotted. It was full of black ants. I couldn't even mow up underneath that tree, and I'd get black ants in my hair, on my shoulders. I mean,
did Don get your tree cut down?
Listen, I had to get past his security, and they wanted my driver's license, but it took 3 years to get that tree cut. But yeah, I got that tree cut, but at least I got to see Don.
Yeah.
You know, you can't even, I mean, I don't even know if God could get in and see this Sheldon Neely unless he wanted to stamp his name on him. This man. No, you ain't going to see Sheldon Neely. And because you know what they say? Oh, he's in a meeting. He's very busy. My ass.
Yeah, he busy.
That's what he said.
Down the city.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
He's busy. Yeah, who's he buying?
Hmm.
Who's he paying?
Hmm.
See, you know, these are valid questions.
I know, and we got to get off of here, but I got one more question for you.
All right.
They pushing, we can all see around the world, they laser focusing in on Dennis. When they can't get Dennis to break, who do you think they're going to go after next?
Jonathan. Because, you know, like I told him, you're naive, Jonathan. He's a sweetie. You know, I mean, I met his wife. They came to my house. I talked to him like 2 hours with them. And then when a tree fell over that one storm that come through and knocked a tree down into the street, I called Jonathan. Within 2 hours between Jonathan and me calling 12th Street, we got that tree cut. And, you know, and I was trying to introduce the 12th Street maintenance crew to Jonathan, because then he'd been elected. And like I told Jonathan, you know, Jonathan, I can't back you right now, but, you know, I'll vote for you. But when I see that you won't work with me, and remove the R and remove the W, I'm a elected delegate by my constituents, and you are elected by your constituents. And if we work together, hand in hand, and be honest with each other, we can do something with the 9th Ward. And I've watched Jonathan, and you know, when them votes come out and I look at Jonathan and I say, Jonathan, and he looks right at me, you know, and we're talking eyes now. And yep. But I think that Jonathan is young. He's naive, but he's honest. And like he said, I make my votes and I can go home and I can lay down and I can sleep with everything that I have voted yes on or no on. I don't he don't wrestle in bed. He don't wrestle with the devil because he puts the devil in his place. And I'm going to tell you something, Liddell and Candace and Judy Priestley and even that silent kind of creeping around first chair man.
Neon Element.
Listen, keep my eye on him.
Okay.
Because, you keep your enemy, you keep your friends close, but you keep your enemy closer. And that's what we got to do. You rebuke them and you plead the blood of Jesus over them and over yourself. Plead a hedge of protection over yourself. You're going to deal with these people because these people are evil.
Evil.
Little Rock, Arkansas said they love you, Ms. Gladyes.
They love you, and we thank you for coming on, Ms. Gladyes.
Do what?
Today.
They love you, Little Rock, Arkansas.
They love you, y'all.
They said they love you.
I picked cotton as a young child down in Paragould, Arkansas. Arkansas is the land of opportunity. If you get the opportunity, you leave.
Are you calling in for the bump?
When you're picking cotton.
We got one caller at the end of the show for Ms. Gladyes.
Well, whip them out there.
Hello, welcome to the bump. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, all. I'm in North Carolina, and this is Nicole. I have a question for the panel, not so much for your guest, because she's just been all over the place. But why does the mayor not attend these meetings? I have looked at Flint, Dalton, and Harvey, and I am flabbergasted and just taken aback about of the Black leadership in these cities.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me when we're in positions like this, where we can affect the lives of the middle class and the people that you want to bring up with the rest of society, that we pick the most unqualified, corrupt candidates on the planet. They don't make a way for everybody else coming behind them to make it better. Why is the mayor, that was my first question, why is the mayor not there? And Candace and Liddell, I do not understand why they are allowed to behave the way that they are in those city council meetings. It's reprehensible. They're both rude and unprofessional. And then one of the visitors the other night said, or speakers said the other night, stop taking your time as council member to respond to negative criticism.
Yep.
I have never seen a shit show like this in my days of being involved in politics, local and national government. It is shameful what we're getting from these Black leaders. If you could take it from there, and why are they also allowed to be president one day, and then I think Candace another night runs the meetings, if that's what you want to call running the meeting. What happened the other night, I'm in North Carolina and I watch it with angst. What in the hell are the people in that city doing to get these people out of office? It is reprehensible what I've seen. So if you can take those questions and give me some idea of how the structure of government is there and why that mayor's not there, as corrupt as he seems, I would really appreciate it. And I hope everybody shows up to vote. Because if you don't vote, you don't have anything to say. You don't have a say in the matter on how your government works for you locally. Show up and vote these fools out of office.
Thank you
That's
so
my
much.
hope for you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you taking my call.
All right. Well, let me answer you real quick before we go off. Thank you so much.
Can I say
Thank you.
something?
Yep.
I saw in the primary election when we had choices for people to take these seats and get rid of so and so and so and so and so and so. Yeah, you know, we voted. We voted. I mean, I was shocked how very few voted. I mean, I think that was the lowest voting primary I've ever seen. Hit Flint. But we voted. But you know, when you steal a vote, and there goes that machine again. Because do you really think that the mayor's wife won that election? Do you really?
No, I don't think so.
You
Not
know,
with Clack.
I think they
Not
stole
by that
that
much.
election from Michael Clack.
Yeah,
I
that's
truly do, because the votes and the ballots were not consistent with the tabulations
I
of
agree.
the tabs that
Right.
were on the boxes.
I agree.
And when those votes got tallied up, they didn't match. So, you know, we vote.
Right.
We vote.
Let me get to her questions real quick on why Mayor Neely doesn't come to council meetings. According to the charter, he is not required to come to council meetings. The very first day he was elected into office back in 2019 as mayor, he tapped Santino Guerrero on the shoulder and said, because they had wanted him to come to the council meeting and introduce himself as mayor, you know, he's here if you need me. And he said, you take care of upstairs and I'm going to handle downstairs. And he meant that.
Yes, he did.
Candace and Liddell, and I know what she means when she said, sometimes you see one of them cheering, another time you see another one of them cheering. If a committee comes up and the committee president the committee chair is absent, I do believe it falls to the president. If she's absent, it falls to the vice president. Candace chaired the first meeting the other night because the vice president historically has always chaired the special affairs meeting and the president has always presided over the city council meeting. I hope I was clear with that. The second part, what are the residents going to do? I'll let you know when they let me know.
They tag team. They're a tag team. What'd she call him when she said, "Can you give me a ride home?" Yeah, you tell me.
Don't you say
no,
it.
no.
But
you
we heard.
me to say that,
We heard it.
but,
We heard it.
They are a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
They walk like this with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they know what they're going to do, and they know what they're going to bring to the table, and they know what they're going to not bring to the table. Mm-hmm. Before they ever get there.
Mm-hmm.
And and when we were dealing with the water, that when you come in chambers and that room that sits right off where you signed up,
it's the committee room, the actual real committee room.
When we were all there, and I mean it was packed house.
It used to be packed.
You would get there early enough so at 4:30 so you could get in that room
and have a seat
around the table and hear the discussions. And Eric would fight as to what was going to go to committee and what was going to get tabled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you heard them talk about what. Mm-hmm. You don't hear any of that no more. No, they sit back there in the room that's just off the elevator. And, there's a room back there other than that little office right there. When you go further back, there's a great big table. And we had been in that several times when we were discussing the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see any of that no more.
No discussion of the water.
I don't see any of that no more.
Oh.
I don't see the people being involved, being able to be involved. It's like the mayor said, you run city council and I'm going to run the mayor's office. That if it's not blended and they don't walk hand in hand, then how does the right hand know what the left hand's doing?
Not.
See, that's the problem.
The head is working without the body.
Thank you.
And that's it. Mickey?
Nah, but it's good to go. Peace, family.
All right. Thank you all. See you tomorrow.
God bless you.
Peace.